Hi, hello and welcome back to F1 Challenge VB. My name is Mephisto and our journey through the history of Formula 1 continues today with the 9th round of the 1964 season, the United States Grand Prix. It was held on the 4th of October, it had 19 entries, all of them took part in the race with 11 ending up retiring. The race consisted of 110 laps completed in 2 hours, 16 minutes and 38 seconds. Clark started the race from pole with 30th in 2nd, Gurney 3rd, Graham Hill 4th, McLaren 5th and Spence started from 6th. After a superb drive, Graham Hill won the US Grand Prix from 30th, who finished 30.5 seconds after Graham. Seifert ended the race in 3rd, he was 1 lap down. Ginther crossed the line in 4th, he was 3 laps down. Walt Hankson finished 5th, he was 3 laps down as well. And Trevor Taylor rounded off the top 6, he was 4 laps adrift. The fastest man of the race was Jim Clark, who set a lap time of 1 minute 12.7 seconds. Today we find ourselves at Watkins Glen, where a lap starts off with a very short sprint into turn 1, a fast right-hander that takes us up the hill, through turn 2 a fast left-hander, and eventually through turn 3 another fast right-hander. This feeds into the longest straight on the track, ending with turn 4 a fast banked right-hander. Turn 5 is next, a quick left-hand sweeper, bringing us into turn 6, a fast right-hander, followed almost immediately by this medium-speed left-hander, and finally a slow right-hander that brings us around onto the main straight, and that is a lap around the Watkins Glen circuit. And here we are in qualifying for the United States Grand Prix. Coming out of the final corner, there are cars on the track again. Quite a usual fixture here at the United States Grand Prix, and we set a lap time of 1:05.3, so that's kind of good. Hopefully we can improve a little bit on that, and as we come around to set another lap time, cars still in the middle of the road there, and we managed to set a 1:04.878. Hopefully we can improve even further. That would be quite nice, even though we are in pole at the moment, but you can never know. And here we are coming around for one last attempt at improving our lap time, and we set a 1:04.6, so that is pretty good, I guess. I would say that's actually much faster than the real world fastest lap on the circuit, which was a 1:12, I believe. Anyway, here are the previous United States Grand Prix winners. Last time we won here was actually last season in 1963, so things are looking up quite well, considering that we're starting from pole. And we have Chris Amon in 2nd, Joe Seifert 3rd, Gerhard Mitter 4th, 5th is Walt Hankson, a new face on the grid today. Then we have Richard Atwood in 6th, Trentina 7th, Pedro Rodriguez, another new face, in 8th, Hap Sharp 9th, Bob Anderson 10th, 11th is Innes Ireland, followed by Trevor Taylor in 12th. Joe Bonner is 13th, Tony Max 14th, 15th is Edgar Bart, and in 16th we have Peter Refson. Then we have Giancarlo Baghetti in 17th, and 18th we have Mike Hillwood. And that is the grid lineup for today's race, which is, well, not many people, but still it might be a challenge to try and win here, which would be fantastic. That would put us quite well in the championship, and since Clark is not here, I think we might even win the championship. And that was a very good start there. Managed to go into the lead. However, then Chris Amon quickly passed us through turn 2, and I tried to make a pass on through turn 3 but didn't quite manage to stick it. And then Joe Seifert manages to overtake us as well on the straight here, but I'm sure we can catch them soon enough as we now rush towards turn 4. Joe Seifert goes wide and we pass him and move up back into 2nd. Hopefully we can catch Chris Amon as well soon enough. Maybe this lap. That would be quite fantastic. As we take another look at the start, a bit of wheel spin coming off of our car, but that's pretty okay as we come through turn 1 here. Then Chris Amon takes the lead from us going through turn 2, even though he went quite wide there, but he managed to stick it and did quite well. Well, that's that, I guess. Not much to say about that. As we take a look at a replay of Rodriguez in the North American Racing Team car, the Ferrari of the North American Racing Team. He comes through turn 4 and kind of goes off track and is out of the race. Then towards the end of the lap, Halewood crashes into these hay bales, loses both of his front wheels, and he's out of the race. And we also have a replay of Peter Weston going wide through turn 4, hits those hay bales there, and he's also out of the United States Grand Prix. And here is a replay of Richard Atwood coming through this right-hander. He clips the front of Marty Cintina's car and ends up at the side of the road and is out of the race as we come around to finish lap 1 here, and we move past Chris Amon and back into the lead of the race, which is fantastic. Hopefully we can stick to this and pull away from Amon slowly. That would be very, very nice as we move up through turns 2 and 3 now, and we already have a gap of 1.5 seconds on Chris Amon as we move towards the end of lap 2, and the gap to Amon is 2.5 seconds, which is quite fantastic. And we have a replay of Joe Bonner coming around to finish lap 1 here. Lap 2 actually crashes into the hay bales, loses his front wheels, and he's out of the race. And we also have a replay of Bob Anderson going wide into this fast left-hander, crashes into the hay bales, loses his front right, and he's out of the race. So did Gerhard Mitter just seconds before him. Goes wide, crashes into the hay bales, loses both his front wheels, and he's out of the race. As we now move on to lap 6, we just passed a back marker there, not quite sure who, but it was one of the Scuderia Centro Sud drivers. And we have a replay of Maurice Centineo coming through turn 4, loses control of his car, gets collected by another Scuderia Centro Sud driver. I think it's that of Giancarlo Baghetti. Anyway, Centineo goes off the track there and ends up upside down, and we have a look at Giancarlo Baghetti as well. He ends up on the embankment as well, and we speed up the footage just a little bit here. Even so, it's still quite slow, but I'm guessing he'll try to get back on track. Not sure if he can though. So nope, he falls through the map and he is out of the Grand Prix. Well, actually he isn't. He will just be many laps behind. Anyway, we now move on to lap 13, and the gap to Chris Amon now is almost 1 minute, so we are about to lap him as we take a look at a replay of Edgar Barth, who comes through turn 3 there, loses control of his car, starts swerving all over the place, and ends up at the side of the road there and out of the United States Grand Prix as well. As we now move on to lap 14, and we just lapped Chris Amon, so that's quite nice. We're doing quite well today here. Not a lot of competition, but at least we're doing well as we come towards the end of lap 14, coming through the penultimate corner. And I'm not sure what I hit there, but I apparently hit something that caused my car to spin around. I was quite... my heart stopped there for a second. I thought that my engine would die there, but I managed to keep it somehow running as we now move on to lap 15, still pulling away from Chris Amon. Obviously we are 1 lap ahead of him as we come through the final corner here, and we have a replay of Chris Amon coming very fast through this left-hander and goes wide, crashes into the hay bales, and he's out of the race as well. We now move on to lap 21. Chris Amon obviously is out of the race. Walt Hangson is now in second and behind us. And we have a replay of Joe Siffert coming through this left-hander as well, crashing into the hay bales, spinning around a million times, and he is also out of the race as well. We now move on to lap 22, and I think those were all the retirements of this race. Quite a few retirements. The majority of the race drivers actually ended up retiring as we now come through the final corner on lap 38 to finish the race and set the fastest lap as well, I believe, of the race. Yes, indeed, here is a replay of us coming around to set the fastest lap of the race and win the United States Grand Prix. And in fact, this is a new lap record, so that's quite amazing for Andy. And there we have it. That was a US Grand Prix, and here are the race results. Higgs first, Hangson second, Sharp fourth, third, fourth, Ireland Max, fifth, and sixth is Trevor Taylor. And here are the retirements. Only 6 people finished, so that was quite a race of attrition there. A lot of, out of 18 people who started the race, only 6 finished, so not many. But again, that was the US Grand Prix. Not a lot of action, at least not for Andy, but at least we managed to win the United States Grand Prix, which should put us in a very good position for the championship. But anyway, here are the career statistics, and this was Andy's 130th Grand Prix. His best started from first, has 11 pole positions, has set 22 fastest laps. His best finishes in first, has completed 86 races, 69 of them in the points, has won 40 Grand Prix, 4 at the Indianapolis 500, 6 in Monaco, has 7 championships under his belt, has scored a total of 470 points, has retired 44 times, has experienced 2,833 out of 3,475 laps, has 6 bronze trophies, 15 silver trophies, 40 gold trophies, and as an extension 40 podiums. And here is a quick look at the championship standings. Andy Higgs still in the lead of the championship, obviously, with Jim Clark in second, Surtees third, Bandini fourth, Chris Amon fifth, and Peter Revson fighting for sixth with Mike Spence. The last person to score points is Frank Gardner down in 25th, and bringing up the bottom of the standings is Ricardo Rodriguez down in 41st. So those are the driver standings, and it looks to me that Andy Higgs has just won the 1964 Drivers' Championship. There is no way Jim Clark could win anymore. There are simply not enough points. There are only 9 more points, and even if Andy Higgs doesn't win the Mexican Grand Prix, the championship is still his. So finally, after many seasons which went quite badly for Higgs, we finally managed to win another championship. This is our 8th World Championship, so that's very nice. Anyway, let's move on to the constructors now, and here we have Honda in the lead, Team Lotus second, Ferrari third, fourth, our Rec Parnell Racing Team, RRC Walker Racing Team, and Peter Revson fighting for fifth. The last team to score points are John Wilmot Automobiles down in 15th, and bringing up the bottom of the standings are North American Racing Team down in 24th. And here we have an interesting situation as well. If somehow we do not finish the Mexican Grand Prix and Team Lotus win the championship, we will be on equal points, but since Honda have been more successful during the season, the championship would go to Honda anyway, so doing pretty well on the constructors front as well, although we will try our best to win the Mexican Grand Prix as well, or at the very least score some points. But that was the United States Grand Prix. Not a very exciting race once again, but at least we managed to win the US Grand Prix, which is always very nice. 9 points are obviously very good, always. But that is the end of this video. Not much more to say about any of this, I don't think. Again, the race wasn't all that exciting, to be honest. I guess the first lap was kind of okay, considering that I kind of had to fight my way back into the lead, but after that, it became pretty much a procession, so that is that. So yeah. Anyway, don't forget to vote for next season's team. Link is in the description. I also have a second channel where I will be playing all sorts of different games. At the moment, I'm doing a playthrough of The Darkness and the movies. So if you're interested in any of those games and more, there will be a link in the description to my second channel as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, stay sharp.